Ladies and gentlemen, I give you a 30-second countdown. You all are probably wondering how you can hear us but not see us. It's magic, I tell you. So you want to see a cool magic trick, folks? Ooh, abracadabra. Welcome back to the weekly recap. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. It's the 1st of December. So yeah, we got a lovely discussion. Unfortunately, Kate is not going to be with us, but fortunately, it's for good reasons. She's with family. Family's important. So if you guys gotta basically fuck off and be with family, fuck off and be with family. Or in a good way, obviously, folks. Family is important, you know?
Yes.
Even if family annoys you sometimes. And, well, family, well, never mind. Not going there. Anyway. So we got some small couple little things that we're going to cover, plus a couple of bigger things. A couple of them don't need to share a screen because it's just too freaking hilarious. And they're basically dropping down the pipe. But then we're going to get to a movie discussion, which is a movie that's actually very important to me for reasons that I will discuss here. So the first one, Alyssa Milano has left X. She leaves X. She's gone. Poof. And
bye-bye.
I checked my fuck count, and it turns out that it's empty. I have no fucks to give. My fuck meter has run out and bled dry. Well, yeah. I mean, this is the same Alyssa Milano who looked hot in Charm. I mean, not gonna lie. Who sexualized herself in the 90s in that what is it, Whispers of the Vampire or whatever, Shadows of the Vampire, where she did full nudity and whatnot. And you know, yeah. Then later on, she started bitching and whining about people sexualizing her and whatnot. And then, well, to be fair, she kind of sexualized herself. And she's like, well, people shouldn't be sexualizing women. And it's like, well, pretty sure you didn't have too much of a problem with it when you were cashing those checks, did you crazy bitch? Not to mention, this is the same woman who, during an insurrection on the Capitol in 2018, during the confirmation of one SCOTUS Brett Kavanaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also, folks, I am sorry if you hear music in the background. I have a hard of hearing relative, and they don't know any better. So, yeah. And
I don't hear anything
YouTube,
except your.
okay,
I don't hear
that's
anything
good.
except your voice. So. Yep.
Okay, good. Good to know that I have your full focus. But yeah, this is the same woman who, during that insurrection in 2018, when Justice Brett Kavanaugh was being sworn into SCOTUS, she's like, this man has a cult-like force. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Is he a witch? I mean, did you seriously drink so much fucking Hollywood Kool-Aid, Alyssa Milano, that you believe in the shit that you were pretending about when you were doing Charmed? I mean, honestly, this is also, folks, to give you an idea, this is also the same Alyssa Milano who turned in her Tesla, got rid of it because Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X. And she said, I cannot, in good conscience, support a fascist dictator wannabe who supports Nazism and whatnot. And instead, I bought a Volkswagen EV. Little historical fact about it, folks, about Volkswagen. they were created under the Yahtzee Party. Yeah.
By Mr. Hitler.
By Mr. Adolf.
By Mr. Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, Adolf Hitler, who weirdly has the same initials as Amber Heard. But after that trial, her initials are forever changed to Amber Turd AT. So when you say at when talking about Star Wars, you are talking about those shitty turdlets. Yes. No, just kidding. But yeah,
No,
yeah.
Dude. No.
Alyssa Milano, what are your thoughts, man? Leave an X. What are your thoughts?
You became irrelevant after Charm went off the air.
That's actually pretty accurate. Holy crap. That's savage. I mean, honestly,
you became
a woman.
Just one other thing. The last time she was remotely relevant was when they did a joke about her on Family Guy, and she had a clip where she was telling her lawyer to sue them.
I mean, honestly, this is my thoughts about, Alyssa Milano. I mean, she can yap her trap all she wants, but, you know...
Shut your fucking mouth! Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Shut it!
I knew that was coming.
I mean, seriously, it's all she ever does is yap, 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 yap.
Are you done? Are you done?
You know?
Why, yes, great M'Baku, I am done. But anyway, we shall move on to our next one because we really don't need to waste any more time on this, well, irrelevant woman. Wait, what is a woman? Oh, shit.
Well,
what is a woman? Is she a woman?
Yes,
she
is a woman.
We don't know what women are anymore, folks, apparently. But, yeah. The next one we don't need article for. So, you know Ellen DeGeneres, who sold off her palatial estate in the United States and decided to go to greener pastures in the UK due to the election of Donald J. Trump. Well, it turns out, folks, that her new mansion that she bought and moved into, well, Vegeta kind of has the idea here.
This is a new.
All that water. Yeah. Turns out her new mansion got flooded.
Maybe you should. Go ahead. Maybe you should have done a little more research on where you were moving to, Ellen and Portia. Maybe y'all should do a little more research on where you were moving to and whether or not it freaking flooded.
Yeah. I mean, I hope there's no permanent damage.
I'll show you permanent damage, you wee fuck. Kratos, throw me at him. Horns first. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much Ellen if she heard me saying something about permanent damage. She'd call me a wee fuck and be like, bitch, I'm taller than you. I could use you in that lovely little Scottish, I believe it's a Scottish or Irish Olympic event. It's called midget, or it's called midget tossing. Yeah. I could toss
caber
you
throwing.
And I prefer midget tossing. But anyway, she decided it's like, I can't live here anymore. And all those tears that she cried ended up flooding her new mansion. Yeah. It's just, I mean, what are the odds that this woman, I mean, first she gets she quits TV because, well, a lot of people found out how much of a bitch she is. And, then she decides to quit Hollywood and all that stuff. And now, during an election, she decides to, well, leave because, things didn't go my way. Well, he's only in the office for 4 years. So, I mean, fuck off. But honestly, in my own opinion, as much as I say I'm a constitutionalist, I do believe there should be some changes to the Constitution, specifically if you are leaving the country due to the fact that you don't like the results of an election. If you are leaving the country, you are not welcome back into the country, especially if you have influential status, meaning you are a person that potentially knows shit that may endanger the safety and security of our nation. Now, I don't think she has top secret clearance or anything like that, but this woman is influential to a degree. And if she's going to another country where she might spill whatever she wants to talk about, guess what? You're not allowed back here so that you can endanger our country any further. That's how I would be. I mean, that's what I would seek to change in the Constitution. But, she's allowed her freedom of speech. She's also allowed her ability to cry like a bitch. But due to her crying so much, she accidentally flooded her estate. So, yeah. What are your thoughts, Ambassador?
It's shocking. It's not shocking at all to me. All these
celebrities,
wimpy, whiny, bitchy little children are leaving the country or leaving X because an election didn't go their way. You think it's bad now? Wait till they drop the Epstein and the Diddy lists. Then you're gonna start.
Yeah. That's another reason why I think she left.
Then you're gonna see some stuff pop off. But honestly, this woman, after her talk show went belly up, she became as irrelevant as Alyssa Milano and half the idiots that have left X. And the list just keeps growing and growing. Oh no, Rob Reiner left. Oh, you mean Meathead from All in the Family? Okay, bye.
Rob Reiner, isn't he? Now, he's the one with the bald head and the gray beard and whatnot.
Yeah, he's also the one that swore if Trump won, he was going to set himself on fire. We're waiting.
Well, I'll give him a penny, but I don't think his name is Guy. Please tell me you at least get that reference.
I might, but it's
penny for the guy. It's the
yeah.
Every November the 5th. I wonder if they still honor that tradition.
Yes, they do. They still have Guy Fawkes today. Yeah, they still have Guy Fawkes today. At least they did. But
now, there's a pub. There's a pub in Scotland that has a picture of Guy Fawkes up on their wall, and it says Guy Fawkes, the only person to enter the Houses of Parliament with honest intentions. Yep,
that's a good one too. But yeah, as far as Ellen DeGeneres, I'm not necessarily a staunch believer in it, but I think there's a little thing called karma.
Oh yeah,
and it just paid a big old visit to Ellen and her wife Portia.
Mm-hmm. Now, folks, getting on to our next topics, which we do have articles. This first one, Alec Baldwin is back. He's back from the great beyond. Oh, wait, no, he didn't die, sadly. Oh, shit. Did I say that out loud? Oops. Okay, I shall totally take that back. He didn't die, but unfortunately, the woman that he shot did. Her name was Helena Hutchins. Alec Baldwin got away with ending her life and had no responsibility for it. He shall be judged on his judgment day. But we shall discuss this with the... he seems to think that Americans are uninformed and dumb due to the election not going the way he wanted it to. So let's share this from Fox News because, well, they actually have the best thing here. Yes, we already know about the Hunter Biden shit. But anyway, Alec Baldwin blames business component of news for Americans being uninformed. Very uninformed about reality. Yeah. So Alec Baldwin, or actually the killer Alec Baldwin, I can say that, by the way, folks, if you are thinking about any sort of defamation thing against me, I can honestly say he is a killer. What he did took a person's life. He killed that person. However, I cannot say convicted murderer Alec Baldwin or convicted killer Alec Baldwin. I cannot say that legally. However, due to First Amendment right, I can say killer Alec Baldwin due to the fact that his own actions with a gun ended a person's life. So yes, that has been established to have happened. So yes, I can say that. Just wanted to get that legal or that little legal disclaimer out of the way. I'm still entitled to my First Amendment rights. So killer Alec Baldwin believes Americans have a misunderstanding of the world's most pressing problems. The reason for this, he explained at a recent event, is that they are uneducated and led astray by the mass media. The 66-year-old killer actor, this year's recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award for killing a person, at the Torino Film Festival in northern Italy, commented on the media's influence in reporting news. Their influence is literally shit. But anyway, tell us, Alec. Television's news in the media, or in the United States media, is a business. They have to make money, Baldwin said during a press conference. Per the Hollywood Reporter, he added, there's a hole, there's a vacuum, there's a gap, if you will, in information for Americans. This is not exactly wrong, so I will give him that. He continued, Americans are very uninformed about reality, what's really going on. With climate change, nobody fucking cares. Ukraine, nobody fucking cares. Israel, nobody fucking cares. You name it. Actually, back up. I will say people over here do care about Israel due to the fact that Hamas does have American families held hostage. We do hope that those families will be reunited with their loved ones soon. You name it. All the biggest topics in the world, Americans have an appetite for a little bit of information. Dude, climate change, again, here's something that you might need to do a little bit of actual reading on. It isn't real. Climate shift, on the other hand, is real. You see, folks, when the climate starts shifting in unpredictable ways, in ways that people honestly can't explain, that means the Earth is going through a climate cycle. You see, these things happen, and, well, an ice age happens. We are about a few thousand years away from the next ice age, but the next ice age will come in the next few thousand years, but this is the kind of shit that happens in between. We're going to see some radical shifts in the climates, and all we can really do about it is adapt, you know? But yeah, he continued. Yeah. Baldwin believes that the film industry, one he's been a part of for decades, plays a role as well. That vacuum is filled by the film industry, not just the independent film industry, not just the film documentary industry, or documentary film industry, whatever, I got it wrong or backwards, but which is very important around the world, but by narrative films as well. Oh, you mean all those films that everybody is saying is the problem? When the filmmakers and the buyers, the studios and the networks and the streamers are willing to go that way, they're willing to try it. Oh, excuse me. Baldwin, who earned an Emmy Award for his portrayal of President Trump in 2017, also spoke about the current political climate. Asked about his fears and desires for the country now that Trump is returning to the Oval Office, Baldwin answered without directly addressing the billionaire businessman. Oh, I'd love to say what he said next. There are many challenges to face. The environment, the problem of plastic and permafrost. There are plastic molecules in every corner of the planet. These are the real problems to solve. It will be necessary for every building to have an alternative energy component. Drill, baby, drill is what I say. Every hospital, school, airport, and government building, yada, yada, yada. I mean, he is basically insulting everybody, folks. Thinking that we're uninformed simply because, well, the media is owned by businesses that are in the business of making money. And, that's true. And people have started turning off those things because, well, we no longer care. I mean, folks, no offense to Alec Baldwin, but his relevance after killing Helena Hutchins holds very little in the way of caring. And when these news media starts not informing people, but trying to indoctrinate people like they have been doing for the last 8 years, I mean, he is right about that. Media is not helping people. They're not informing people. We had to seek our media elsewhere in other ways, and we started to. And then Elon Musk gave us a huge boost with X, because now, get this, most of the world's media is absorbed through X. All the news, or most of the news, is absorbed through X. So you want to call us uninformed, Alec? Go ahead, but I'm well informed. You want to know what I'm informed about? I'm informed about a lot of shit that goes on around the world, especially how that Greta Thunberg chick keeps freaking doing climate terrorist actions and getting arrested and whatnot. I'm hoping that she does this eventually to the point where she gets arrested and held longer than a minuscule sentence. I'm hoping she actually does some serious hard time for her actions because, yes, she is an adult now and she should be held to adult standard. But, Ambassador, what are your thoughts on Alec Baldwin saying that Americans are uninformed?
Well, this is just a continuation of the soon-to-be month-long spiral into obscurity and madness that the people, celebrities, the general public on the left are experiencing ever since Election Day. And I will say this, and this is probably not a surprise to the audience or to obviously yourself. My wife and I, and my mother, who was a lifelong Democrat, my mother, the party of JFK, party of Roosevelt, she voted for Trump.
Nice.
And she's come to realize that she actually made the right call. But put that aside for a moment. Me and my wife are not uneducated. We're certainly not uninformed. We both have the equivalent of 2 master's degrees from college. She graduated summa cum laude. I graduated near the top of my class. And this idea that Trump supporters or Trump voters or conservatives or Republicans are stupid is a massive misnomer. Now, as to Mr. Baldwin's point, dude, you haven't been really relevant.
Since Beetlejuice?
Since 30 Rock.
I have no idea what that is.
It was a show on NBC. It had him in it and Tracy Morgan and Tina Fey. It was about I'd have to look it up, but he was a big star in it. But these gray old has-beens and the shrieking harpies in the entertainment industry coming out and calling half the country uneducated or uninformed or undereducated or underinformed. I'm going to quote the great Ricky Gervais, and yes, I do say because he said it best. You know nothing about the real world. You spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So if you win your little award, you come up on stage, think you're agent and you're God, and F off. I'm going to say this to the entirety of the the leftists in Hollywood. F off. We don't care what you think. Go make either your good or crappy movies, entertain us, and otherwise stay out of our business. We run the world. You just play dress up. Your opinion means jack all. So
we're the ones who pay your checks, God damn it.
Yeah. So unless you want every movie and every TV show for you that you're involved in to completely utterly fail and bomb, shut up. Don't lecture us. Entertain us. Do better than you've been doing lately. And otherwise, keep your opinion to yourself. Just like the rest of us do. Just like the rest of us adults. Quit insulting us. Quit trying to berate us and belittle us. Belittle us. Because guess what? Without us, you have no mansion. You have no yacht. You have no sports car. You have no trips. You have no private plane. You have jack all. You would have to go out and get a real job. And I guarantee you, including you, Mr. Baldwin, you with the face that looks like a saggy scrotum, would not last 10 minutes in a blue-collar or retail position job. You would shriek and run out of the store in 5 to 10 minutes from dealing with the regular public.
Mm-hmm. So yes, be gone, Alec Baldwin. I bear my cross to you.
That works too.
Yes, be gone, you demon. But the next one, folks, it seems that we've been saying it for years. We've been saying it for a while. Hollywood has some hostility towards us and kind of thinks white people are a huge problem. I mean, everybody seems to think when we say this, it's hyperbole. But somebody kind of came out and rather confirmed it for us. So we got another article here. This one is from Fandom Pulse. Shout out to the boys over there. Or no, wait. Yeah, Fandom Pulse. From John F. Trent, shout out to him. Former Amazon and Disney executive affirms that Hollywood has contempt for the audience and hostility towards white people and men. Men. So let's get into this. Amazon Video and Amazon Studio founder and Disney executive Roy Price lampooned Hollywood for having contempt for the audience and hostility towards white people and men. Oh, Jesus, would you get away from here? In a recent article posted to his Substack titled "Woke is the New Disco," Price blasted the current Hollywood elite for living within an America that exists mainly in Hollywood HR departments, Columbia's faculty lounge, and at CNN and MSNBC, both of whom are failing, by the way, because they lost, most of their, they lost most of their viewers. He noted that the studios and elites that run them have chosen to disdain and ignore many Americans, including half the country's votes, 40% of Americans who own guns, another 40% who attend church monthly, and the 74% who live outside the West Coast, New York, New England. Add to this the roughly 50% of Americans who are male. Next, Price declared that the deeper problem with Hollywood is contempt for the audience. He explained, wokeness, both in politics and entertainment, carries within it a strong and explicit element of hostility, particularly towards white people and men, While this approach initially gained compliance through social pressure and corporate acquiescence a few years ago, such accommodations were, of course, temporary. Amongst these people amongst the people and in courtrooms, by 2024, wokeness has become toxic to a large part of the audience. It is an embarrassing, widely resented relic of the past. And the people need to see that acknowledged by candidates. They, especially men, need to see wokeness disavowed, he declared. He later reiterated Hollywood is having a difficult time, partly because, like Kamala Harris, it has been denying the reality of the audience. It has not been meeting customer expectations, mostly because it disdains them. It is time to focus on doing well, making great shows, hiring the best people, and responding to customers. Meet customers where they are. Give the people what they want, because making customers the enemy of your industry is never viable, he wrote. These are all quotes from this former Disney exec, folks. He also shared why he believes Hollywood was so easily captured the ideology. For most people, it is conformity. Hiring decisions are subjective in Hollywood. So there is always pressure to conform. In addition, at this point, some people believe that if not for wokeness, they would not have their jobs. They're probably right about that. Finally, Price revealed that he believes Hollywood should and can be saved, and explains how that can occur. First, he stated, at this point, it is not enough to be not woke. One must be anti-woke. And for what that entails, he shared, is the means of putting a focus back on meritocracy, ambition, freedom, humor. Furthermore, he noted it means that the era of canceling must come to an end. Rather, accusations must be handled with fact-based, level-headed judgment. Who the fuck is this guy? I want to shake his hand.
I wouldn't mind myself.
He also noted the super woke may have to leave, or perhaps some can walk it back, but Hollywood should also stop by confronting the original sin of this recent era by distinguishing between those excluded for legitimate reasons and those purged in a feral moment of vindictive frenzy to capture power. Price's comments do not come out of nowhere, and it's more than just Hollywood that is promoting this hateful, disgusting agenda. To bolster Price's claims about Hollywood having disdain for the audience and hostility towards white people, specifically white men, one need look no further than Canadian-owned publication Collider, who published an article by Cameron Barnett earlier this year titled "Star Wars' Biggest Problem is the Fans." In the article, Barnett concludes the most vocal viewers of the franchise wield the power and the internet power of the internet in order to push a bigoted agenda that originates from the prejudices of an earlier time. He's essentially saying white people and their racism is the problem. Whilst mainstream Star Wars content has grown to produce meaningful narratives while being bogged down by hate in the background, true fans understand the Star Wars universe is a sci-fi wonderland where anything can happen wrong and anyone belongs wrong. And the future looks bright for those who have already opened up their minds to the compassion that all audience members should have learned a long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away? Yeah, here's the thing. When it comes to all that shit, folks, let me get into it after this article. He made it clearer earlier in this article that he meant by earlier time when he wrote the first film in the original trilogy, originally just titled Star Wars upon its 1977 release, was shown to the public during a decade of classic hits like Steven Spielberg's Jaws and Rocky in 75 and 76, respectively. This was a time when Hollywood relied almost exclusively on traditional tropes to tell stories exclusively through a Eurocentric white male lens. He added, despite taking place in a galaxy far, far away from the beginning or filmmaking conventions of Earth, Star Wars original trilogy features mostly white cast female characters with largely unrealized potential and no LGBTQ plus storylines depicted on screen. Oh, cry me a river, you little bitch. And don't stop till you hear daddy. Anyway, it's not just Hollywood that's been captured. Dungeons and Dragons was captured as well. Wizards of the Coast and Calibre, yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing, folks. They love to say all of this shit, and they love to basically claim that it's all because of racism. Look, we love representation. I mean, for Christ's sake, learn your own fucking history first off. LGBTQ representation has been in movies since 1916. That ain't a joke. If you don't believe me, there's a film called Vingarn, Vingarne. If you watch that film, it's from 1916, you will see that there was a LGBTQ representation in that film. Don't need to keep sharing this anymore. And good to see the people who are chatting in the thing. And hello, Pierre. Since Hollywood has hostility towards paying customer, have they forgotten a few things? The customer is always right. And to quote 007, you forgot the first rule of mass media. Give the people what they want. Very good. Very good. Exactly. Here's the thing, though. I've said this, and this is basically true because, I mean, you just had to look at their reaction back then. 2016, when Donald Trump was running for president, in the year 2016, you had all these celebrities coming out. There's not going to be a president, Donald Trump. Donald Trump will never be president. Yada, yada, yada. Whiny, whiny, whiny. Bitch, bitch, bitch. Hallelujah. Hallelujah is your uncle. But anyway, the point is, folks, Hollywood then got a reality check that they honestly could not handle at the time. So they decided, we are going to fight this bigotry. The problem is they decided to fight it in a way, hello, Junebug, that rather two wrongs don't make a right. We're going to show our representation, and you're just going to either like it or you're a bigot. That's what they decided to do. And it was the dumbest thing possible. And them now having a problem with white people, I mean, this is just basically a reversal of what history has done. I mean, black people have been in movies for decades. Leads even. Look at Blazing Saddles. 70s, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. Great freaking film, man. Black lead, white co-star. I mean, it was a beautiful film. And it basically said, look, we're going to do a lot of shit in this movie that the PC crowd isn't going to like. And you know what? Fuck them. We don't care. That's the wonderful thing about the guy who did those films a while ago. Blanking on his name. I was just thinking of it.
Mel Brooks.
But yes, thank you, Mel Brooks. But here's the thing, folks. Wokeness originally had a name. It was called political correctness. And here's the thing. Reality is based on a pendulum, as I see it. The pendulum swings to the left and then comes back down to swing to the right and continues its motion of time. And during this time, well, here's the thing. The pendulum would allow the political correctness to rear its ugly head, and then it would have its normal life cycle, kind of like a cocoon of a butterfly, and the butterfly only lives for ever so long before it eventually dies. And here's the thing. It then dies away, the pendulum shifts back over to the right. Things return to a level of sanity, and then we go back to the left. The problem is, in 2016, the pendulum swung to the right, and then people were just so pissed off, they grabbed the stem of the pendulum, wrenched it back over to the left, and they've been holding it up over to the left for so long. They weren't allowing the natural order of time and reality to pass. They tried influencing reality to a point where they mostly succeeded. They had pissed off people. They had gotten what they wanted. They had, well, here's the thing. They had to slowly learn that what they wanted was not what they got. Wokeness destroyed society. Wokeness damaged culture. Wokeness, political correctness, needs not to be destroyed, but to be put back in its original place. It needs to be allowed to have a time for it to rise up, have its moment, and then go back to sleep. Go back to its hibernation, kind of like animals in winter.
Mm-hmm.
But a healthy amount of political correctness is not a bad thing, folks. It reminds society that we do need to be a little bit more tolerant to people here and there. You know, nobody's saying that political correctness is evil, but what they did with it is evil.
Mm-hmm.
It is the choices that these people, in their eternal hatred for one man who was once their friend for the longest time, until he came out going for the party they didn't like. Well, it then turned out that they just, it broke them. It shattered their minds to the point where they were going to punish us for daring to defy them, when they needed to realize we are the ones in control. We are the ones who decide whether their efforts are worthy of support, whether their movies are worthy of box office profit. We decide that.
Mm-hmm.
No one else. And unfortunately, they had the ability to do this for 8 years. And unfortunately for them, they began to realize that political correctness, when allowed to fester longer than it's supposed to, it becomes toxic. It becomes corrosive. And now look at what has happened. Every year, maybe 5 movies at most were good from 2017 to now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, this year alone, I've seen 4 movies in theaters. I saw Godzilla -1 in theaters. I saw Top Gun Maverick in theaters. Well, that was last year. But
Mm-hmm.
I saw Beetlejuice, Alien Romulus, Deadpool Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, some of these movies are Disney made.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But you know what? I ensured that Disney didn't get my money. The point is, folks, these movies didn't push any socio agenda. In fact, Deadpool mocked that shit. Believe me, it was beautiful to see. To the point where he actually got ire from the LGBTQ community and all those evil, stupid people. But here's the thing. It's now starting to go away. It's going to take a bit. We got a lot of cancer to clear. But we got our best surgeons on call. Ambassador, your thoughts on this?
Well, it kind of goes back to what I had said earlier about Mr. Baldwin and his ilk. But in terms of this particular article, the author is not wrong. Our culture, particularly the entertainment industry and also the political aspect of our culture has gone too far in being, and I won't use the term they use now, I will say as it was originally intended. And yes, I do agree. Political correctness from time to time is not an unhealthy thing. But when it's carried to the degree that it has been carried to now, you see the results. Mm-hmm. And I will say this, as much as I've found these reaction videos to people watching these meltdowns post election day, it has at this point become somewhat sad that our society is so screwy that people are overreacting to an election. When roughly 20 years ago, you wouldn't have seen this. Now, granted, all the social media spaces that we have now did not exist 20 years ago, but still, people wouldn't have behaved like this. Even let's say 10 years ago, 2014, social media did exist. People did not behave this way if an election did not go in the direction that they hoped. Unfortunately, between the entertainment sphere and the political sphere, people have been so screwed up mentally that they can't seem to understand you're not losing any rights, you're not losing any freedoms, you're not going to be hauled off and put in a detention center or whatever way you want to call it. You need to wake up and realize that life goes on. Yes, this country is going to go through some very painful changes over the next 4 years, provided everything goes the way that we hope it does. But you're not going to just disappear.
I mean, Trump is not Thanos.
No, obviously not. No, Trump is not Thanos. But here's the thing here's another point in regards to that article. We go to the movies and we watch TV shows and streaming series to get some escapism from the doldrums of our daily lives. We don't go to it for a lecture. We don't go to it for a speech. We don't go to it to be told that we are bad people just because of some immutable characteristics that we have no control over. We go to be entertained. If you're not going to entertain us, then shut the hell up. That may sound crass, it may sound coarse, it may sound blunt, but sometimes that's what has to be said, and that sometimes the steps that has to be taken. You have to be as blunt as a sledgehammer. If you're not going to entertain us and all you're going to do is insult us, then shut the hell up and go away. I don't mind certain groups having their say. But when it comes to endangering certain members of the general population, that's when we need to speak up. I'll mention this briefly. When the concept of I can't remember the exact term for it, but essentially minor attracted individuals is okay in our society, then there is something severely wrong and it needs to be addressed. There is no such thing as minor attracted individuals. You are a PDF file. So, as far as this article goes, do I applaud this gentleman for what he has said? Yes, I do. And to the other aspect of it, Hollywood, all you celebrities that came out back to Mrs. Harris, you failed. take your ball and go home. Entertain us or shut the hell up. And if you're going to leave the country, pack your stuff and go. Because otherwise, all you are is a liar. If you stand so strongly by your convictions and you say you're going to leave, pack your bags, sell your house, and do like Ellen DeGeneres and F off out of this country.
Oh, I'm probably not remember. Ellen DeGeneres came by property. She'd like rent it.
Either way. So that's my 2 cents.
Sorry, I was taking care of something on another window. But yes, those are all of the topics. And now we are moving on to the discussion, folks, to the movie discussion. This movie that we are discussing stars the late, great Heath Ledger. It is 10 Things I Hate About You, as you all can clearly see here. And this movie, as I said earlier, is rather important to me. Because this movie did something for me during a time in which I was in mourning. My grandmother had just died. And, well, I was down in Buffalo because that's where she lived. And my uncle decided to take us boys to the movies. And they're like, all right, so what movies do you want to watch? And this and that. And, well, there wasn't any, I couldn't remember even what else was released at the time. But 10 Things I Hate About You just didn't seem really that interesting of a movie because the title just didn't really sit with me. It's like, I don't really care, you know? I don't want to watch this movie. It sounds boring. That's all of what a 13-year-old, or that's basically all of what a 12 to 13-year-old is thinking about, you know? But then, or a 14-year-old actually, yeah, 14. But then, when we got our tickets, got into the theater, sat down, took our seats, started munching on some popcorn, the previews came on. Now, folks, this was early 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, a certain movie that came out in May of that year had its first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, folks. Now, I knew a few years before that the prequels were coming. You see, when you had the Star Wars Special Edition on VHS, they had these lovely things in the beginning of the films where Lucasfilm and them talk about what they're doing with the films, how they improved them and whatnot. And Dennis Muren kind of spoiled the plot in the Return of the Jedi tape. He's like, it's sort of been a testing area, you know, getting ready for the prequels. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is a prequel? At that time, I didn't know what a prequel was because, well, I was only, I was like, that was 1998. So I was 13 years old. I didn't know what the word prequel meant. I didn't even know what the word sequel meant at that time because honestly, I never really had much use for them, you know? So I see the trailers and it's like, oh my God. It was something I sorely needed because I loved my grandmother. I loved her very much. And it was something that I sorely needed. But then this movie came on. And holy crap, was I ever proven wrong. This movie wasn't boring. This movie was freaking making me laugh so much I was disturbing other people in the theater. And I needed that. I needed to get some laughs in. But my uncle's like, dang, shush. And I'm like, sorry. But I was just, this movie starring Alyssa Olenek, not Juliette Lewis, what's her name? She plays, the chick that my head is over.
Allison Janney, Heath Ledger,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm blanking myself, and I shouldn't be.
I know.
Damn.
Right? She plays in the Bourne movies as well.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Hang on.
Yeah. He'll find it, folks.
Yes, I will.
This movie was basically... Oh, I think the comment section has it. Comment section. I remember your review for this. Yep. I did a review for this.
Stiles.
Folks. Julia Stiles. Yes.
Stiles.
Yep. And there's Vanya with it too. Just the time that Ambassador gets it too. But yes.
Oh, and just FYI, are you going to change the ticker?
The ticker?
Yeah, at the bottom.
Oh, shit. Yes, thank you. Boy, I said, boy, what's wrong with you not getting a ticker? I'm sorry, Foghorn. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, this movie is basically a wild reimagining of Taming of the Shrew from William Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
Names like Verona, Stratford, and all them, Katharina. And this movie makes a lot of Shakespearean references, just a little, or just a minor running. And with the shrew, that's your girlfriend's sister. I mean, it's basically Hollywood growing up, but it's not Hollywood, high school for kids. It's the stereotypical high school, just dialed up to 11. And I love, oh my God, David Krumholtz. He's like, now, these are your basic beautifuls. Now, unless they say hello first, don't bother. Wait, is that your rule or theirs? Hold on a second. Yeah, there. Eat me. See that? And he smiles the whole way through. But yeah, it's like, these are your white Rastas. Very edgy. Very edgy. Don't make any sudden movies or moves around them. Your coffee boys, the white Rastas, they think they're black and they smoke a lot of weed. You had your political correctness teacher in there, Mr. Morgan, who also could dish it just as much as he receives it. But I love it. It's like, oh my God, it's like, or he's like, the next time you cruise the PTA or storm the PTA, cruising for better lunch meat or whatever it is you white girls complain about, ask them why they can't buy a book written by a black man. And these two Rastafarian white dudes pick up. They're like, that's right, Mon. Don't even get me started on YouTube. Oh, no problem, man. It's just fucking hilarious. And Julia Stiles plays an absolute rebel. But there's reasons behind it. This movie does shit that you think are just random. No reasons for them. But there really is reasons behind it. The uptight father doesn't want his daughters dating because, well, he knows the darker side of the dating. He is a gynecologist, I believe, as well as a doctor who delivers.
He's an OBGYN.
Yeah, he was an OBGYN, but he also delivered babies. And I love that. It's like kissing, huh? Let me tell you something. Kissing doesn't keep me up to my elbows in placenta all day long.
Not to mention the guy who plays the father was also the dean in the Night Professor movies with Eddie Murphy.
Yep. Kevin Pollak? Is it Kevin Pollak?
No.
Who was the fucking?
At least I don't think it is.
But he was I love that. Or the younger daughter, and the older daughter are fighting about it. And he's like, okay, old rule out, new rule. Bianca can date.
When Kat does.
She does. When Kat does. Yeah, what she does. But she's a mutant. What if she never dates? Then you'll never date. Oh, I like that. And I'll get to sleep at night. The deep slumber of a father whose daughters are now getting impregnated. The way he drilled that line, the way he did that line, it's like, oh, it just rolled out of his mouth like it was nothing. You know? I mean, then you also had those asshole characters. And David Krumholtz gets a dick drawn on his face. And then they start paying a dude to date her. and Heath Ledger is the other rebel. Oh my god, this movie was just so freaking good. What are some of your favorite parts on this?
Well, you've listed a few already,
Yeah.
but I have to. Oh, I know. One of my favorite scenes is when Kat goes into the vice principal's office and she's writing her overly sexualized
Or erotic
romance novel. And Kat, as Kat's leaving, she gives a word for the member. The guy's erection. And he's like, she's like engorged. And Allison Janney's character's like, engorged.
No, she's like, what's another word for engorged? I'll go look it up. Thank you. Swollen, turgid, tumescent. Perfect. But then as she's leaving, she's like, I'll let you get back to Reginald's quivering member. Quivering member. I like that. This is the same principle. Oh my god. In the beginning of it, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's just getting into the school and shit, and she's like, my Army brat? Yeah, my dad was. That's enough. I think you'll find Padgel no different from your regular schools. And there's just shit that just fucking flies right up at her window. Same little asswipe, shit for brains everywhere. I mean, she actually says that to the student. Excuse me, am I in the right office? Not anymore, you're not. I have deviance to see in the novel to finish, so scoot. I love it. I mean, she is just so freaking hilarious.
Allison Janney has some great comedic timing, yeah.
Yes.
One of my other favorite scenes is actually when Kat takes Bianca and the other guy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, to the house party, and she ends up getting drunk and she starts table dancing.
Yep.
And Heath Ledger's character, I can't remember their characters' names. I feel bad for that, except for a few.
Patrick.
But anyway,
Verona. Yeah, Pat.
Yeah, Patrick. Yeah. He takes her. He gets her up and gets her out, and they're sitting on the swing and they're talking.
Yeah.
And she ends up throwing up on his shoes.
Yeah. And the thing is, he plays himself off. His character is played as an asshole smoker. He no longer smokes because he wants to date her and stuff. Mm-hmm. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, dude, it's over. Never mind. Deal's off. And he's like, Cameron, do you like the girl? Well, yeah. And is she worth all this trouble? Well, I thought she was. Look, she either is or she isn't. Or first off, or what's his name? The punk kid, the piece of shit kid, who's a model.
Not much of a model.
Yeah, I know. And he's like, he's not half the man as you are. And also, don't let anyone ever think that you don't deserve what you want. Go for it. I mean, it's like, this is a punk kid giving some of the most solid advice ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he grabs Kat because she's falling over because she has a concussion due to the fact that after she had a lot of tequila, she decided to do her table dance and smacked her head on the thing above her, the chandelier.
Yeah.
Yep. And here's the thing. He does the right thing after he drives her home because she leans in for the kiss. He doesn't go for it because it's like, well, she's drunk. So yeah.
The thing is, he has standards.
Yeah. It's like, this is probably not a good idea. And so she freaking gets pissed, storms out. And then also when he takes Bianca home, Gordon-Levitt takes Bianca home because, well, the party kind of sucks now that she's not getting any attention because at that time she was in it for the attention. And he goes off on her. He's like, have you always been this conceited and vabbing? And it's like, I defended you. I learned French for you. And you just blow me off. And then she suddenly just kisses him. And it's like, and back in the game. Oh, my God. The scene before that, though, before they leave, where she's dressed up with her friend and trying to sneak out. Should have used the window. Hi, Daddy. Hi. He's not even looking at him. It's like, should have used the window. They're behind him. Oh, and it's like, so where are you off to? Oh, well, if you must know, a small study group of friends, otherwise known as an orgy. Party. And hell is just a sauna. Now, folks, a 14-year-old is not going to understand all this stuff unless they are, well, rather less cultured and less or more rebellious and whatnot. Me, I wasn't like that. I was a good guy, or I was a good kid. I didn't do stupid shit. But he's like, or I want you to wear the belly. And he puts this pregnancy pack on his daughter that mimics the weight and whatnot of a pregnant body. And that's when Pat Verona arrives, because they finally, or the father relents, and because the sister agrees to go. And I love what he's like, 9:30, right? Or 9 o'clock, right? Oh, I'm early. Whatever, I'm driving. Who knocked up your sister? It's like, oh shit. She just looks at him and he's like, oh my God. It was that was just like the perfect moment.
One of my other favorite scenes is when Patrick is trying to woo Kat, and they're on the athletic field or the stadium or whatever, and he grabs the mic and starts, I can't remember what song he sings. Starts
You're
singing.
Too good to be or
yeah, that's it. You're too.
I love you, baby. Yeah.
I love you, baby. If it's quite all right, I need you, baby. Yeah. And
oh my God.
I just died because I actually remember going to see this back in the day, and I was like, and I did some research on it after the fact. I was like, this all sounds vaguely familiar from high school, because I graduated from high school in '97.
Yeah, it was an older song.
Yeah. Well, no. The movie itself.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, this all seems vaguely familiar from high school. So I did some research. And I was like, 10 Things I Hate About You, The Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah.
Even 400 years later, the bard's still getting work.
Yep.
And
now, obviously, this kid didn't steal a microphone and jack up the volume. But
no,
not in the story, but he did make a huge display. Yeah.
Yes, he did. And of course, I think one of everybody's favorite scenes. It's the scene at the end where the teacher challenges all of them to write a piece of poetry, and Kat gets up there and she just
pours her heart out. Yeah.
Brings the house down.
Yep. And I love that when they get the assignment, it's like, she's like, yes, miss, I have an opinion about everything. Do you want this written in iambic pentameter? You're not going to fight me on this? No, I really like this assignment. You're just kidding me, aren't you? No, I'm really looking forward to writing it. Get the hell out of my class. She's like, what? Out, get out. I love that fucking scene. Mr. Morgan, oh my God, dude. It just works. And the kid, Joey's his name, the fucking asshole model, is like, or he's like, thanks, Mr. Morgan. Shut up. It's like, so how was everybody's, not that I really give a damn, but how was everybody's weekend? I don't know. Maybe we should ask Kat. Unless you kick the crap out of your dumb butt, I don't want to hear about it. It's like, I mean, he just gives it so well, man. It's like, oh shit.
Well, not to mention the most popular guy in school. Everybody just dogs on him. Everybody thinks he's a douche. Everybody thinks he's a massive douche nozzle, and nobody likes him.
Oh yeah, especially by the end of it, because the prom is basically the main thing here, folks. He wants to take her to the prom, or Cameron wants to take Joey or Bianca to the prom, and well, Kat is still reluctant to go because she doesn't like tradition. And now their mom is out of the picture, and so Kat or Bianca is kind of or pissed off because she really wants to go, and she's like, I can't go because you don't feel like it. Joey didn't tell you we went out, did we? Or did he? Yeah, okay. And 9th for a month. Well, what happened? And so she basically said, or tells her without telling her, that they had sex. And she explains, well, everybody was doing it, so I did it. But then he got pissed after I didn't want to do it anymore because I wasn't ready. And well, yeah. And so she she opens up to her sister, but it does backfire on her. So she decides, fuck it. I'm going to help my sister out with this. And also Pat Verona is kind of dug himself into a little hole with her, but he also uses the money that he's getting from Joey because Joey's paying him $100 for the date and stuff, and he's using all the cash and shit to basically help or get her and whatnot. And then all the freaking shit hits the fan in the prom scene. And I love that. Bye, Dad. I'm going to the prom. Funny, sweetie. And then he hears the door open up and close. He's like, what the fuck's going on here? What's that? A prom dress. I seem to be hearing that word a lot lately. And then Joey shows up and is like, good evening, Mr. Stratford. I'm Joey. I'm here to pick up Bianca. Closes the door and walks away. Oh, but yeah. So then the truth finally comes out because Joey shows up at the prom. And well, yeah, he kind of outs Pat right in front of Kat. Did not mean for that to rhyme. But yeah, she's like, nothing in it for you, huh? And he's trying to defend himself. He's like, look, would you just listen to me for a second? I didn't care about the money. I cared about you. And well, she's just beyond pissed at this point.
Yeah.
And during
not
this time,
unjustifiably. Yeah.
Oh yeah, not unjustifiably at all. Or she's completely justified. But also during this time, Joey smacks Cameron, and then well, Bianca comes in and starts punching Joey's nose multiple times, even though he's got a nose spray ad in the tomorrow. I don't think she gives a shit. And she's like, that's
not really.
For my date bleed. That's for my sister. And then she knees him in the nuts, and that's for me.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I love that because while he's holding his nuts, he goes like this to let he puts his hands up like this, thumbs up and shit, to basically let everybody know he's okay. But they still had it in for whatever reason. It was actually not supposed to be in that shot, I believe. And but yeah. So shit hits the fan, and that's when she does her 10 things she hates about him. And she then runs out, but I love in the beginning of the scene, it's like, I believe everybody had a good weekend good time this weekend, except for Mr. Donner, who has an excuse. Shaft, lose the glasses. Hey, fuck Norris, good to see you, buddy. From work. All right, man. But yeah, everybody by this time has heard that Joey Donner got his ass kicked by a girl. And folks, you get your ass kicked by a girl in the high school, you don't have a reputation anymore except for that reputation only.
Yeah, you're a bitch.
You're nothing but a bitch. Exactly. I mean, folks, the only worst thing that could happen to you by then is if you are arrested and a female cop kicks your ass.
Yeah.
That's basically the equivalent for jail. If a female cop throws your ass down, instead of all the big burly cops, guess what? You are forever a bitch. But back in the movie, Bianca goes sailing with her boyfriend, and I love how her father comes out, and she's like, where are they heading off to? Oh, just to meet up with some bikers, big ones, full of sperm. And he's like, funny. So how's this dance? Was it hopping? Parts of it. Which parts? The part where Bianca beat the hell out of some guy. Bianca did what? I love she's like, what?
The father is so good in this. I mean, the
Yeah.
father is so damn good in this. I mean, like I said, he was great in the Night Professor movies with Eddie Murphy, where he played the dean of the university. But in this, he's next level.
Yeah.
He plays a great dad.
So I think that he actually might be a father because how he plays this role.
Probably.
Because he's like, what? Are you mad that I rubbed off on her? No, impressed. And so he sits down with her. Now, Kat wants to get out of California. She wants to go to the East Coast, go to Sarah Lawrence, which is a East Coast college. And so he's like, he starts coming clean to her. You know, Bianca or parents don't like to admit when their children are growing up. That's when we become spectators. Bianca still lets me play a few innings. You kept me on the bench for years. And when you go to Sarah Lawrence, I won't even be able to watch the game. And she's like, when I go? Well, don't tell me you changed your mind. I already sent him a check. And so she finally relents and actually hugs her father for this. But it's still a great moment because it's like, this is a really heartfelt moment from the father to his oldest daughter, who still kind of is rebellious towards him because she still wants to go. She still wants that college. And well, she didn't know that he already sent her a check, not until that moment. But I love how he put it. It's like, she still lets me play a few innings, meaning she still acquiesces to my will. She's, yes, or you have always fought me whenever I've tried to look out for your best interests, you know? And it's just one of the best moments. So then at the end, when Kat sees an offender Strat in her car, Stratocaster, guitar, folks.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then he shows our, oh my God, I'm going to cover this part, but then I'm going to cover my absolute favorite part. But this is the end of the movie. And he's like, well, I had some cash lying around. And she's like, well, some asshole told me or paid me to take out this really great girl. Is that right? Well, yeah, but I screwed up because I fell for her. And they're about ready, and she's like, it's not every day you find somebody who will flash someone to get you out of detention. And she just breaks down laughing, and she's like, you know, you can't just buy me a guitar every time you screw up. Yeah, I know. But then there's always drums, bass, and then maybe one day a tambourine. But yeah, it really works. But the part where it's not every day you find somebody who will find a girl who will flash someone to get you out of detention, that is my favorite part of the whole damn movie, because it's like, she's in detention, or he got in detention because, well, he sung or he stole the mic and created a huge scene, and also ran from campus security. And so she decides to break him out of detention by going to the teacher who earlier that day had an arrow shot into his ass by her sister during archery class. I miss archery class. Oh, God, I miss it.
I never had archery class. I wish I did.
Oh, I had archery class. I got some stories for you. But, yeah, that teacher, thank God those were just practice tips, because it's easy to pull out. Those things don't pierce things very easily unless you have a very strong bow. But I like how he goes to sit down, and then he gets back up. He's like, huh? You look pretty nervous. Yes, sir. Sort of like a pig. Yes, sir. Your eyes are all bloodshot. Yes, sir. You've got pot, don't you? Hands it over. I'm confiscating this. And then as he's walking away, he sees a bag of chips, grabs chips. This too. It's like, because we all know what he's going to need those later. But yeah, she's on the soccer team. And so she's trying to get him to go out through the window, and he's like, no. He's like, no. And she's like, the window. And so she's like, I got some ideas for the game next week. Hey, we'll talk about it later. And so she keeps him distracted while Pat's going for the window. And so she's like, well, how are we going to get him to look like this? And she flashes the damn teacher. Okay, well, I'm going to go show the plan. Or now that you've seen the plan, I'm going to go show the plan to someone else. And everybody in the damn detention saw what she did, obviously. And, well, they're all clapping and shit. Oh. And it's like, oh, shit. Technically, folks, it's only a movie, so yeah. But technically, that's an expellable offense.
Yeah.
She could have gotten her ass completely thrown out of school because she sexually harassed a teacher. That is But did you also notice during the end of this film, after the music sequence of the band or of the freaking band on top of the
school? Yeah.
Love to know how they did that. But then you see all the freaking bloopers and shit where they run into the principal and the director of the film making out in the hallway. Oh my God. I mean, this movie it's so freaking hilarious.
It is.
It really is. What was your favorite part in the whole movie?
My favorite part?
Yeah.
It doesn't even have anything to do necessarily with the main characters, but it's Kat's best friend and one of the random guys in the school. And he's nervous to ask her out to the prom. So he finds out that she's a Shakespeare-aholic, just like he is, so to speak. And he starts leaving all sorts of little hints and notes and stuff in her locker. And then he buys her a dress anonymously, I think, if I remember correctly.
Shakespeare,
and then he comes to the prom dressed in period attire, the same as her, and she's like, "You're William." And
she's like, "Have you seen him? Who? William. He told me he'd meet him here." Oh, don't tell me you've degraded into delusion.
And when he reveals himself, I love that whole storyline. Yeah, because he really likes her, and he's nervous, he's shy, and I mean, honestly, I love the main storyline. Obviously, Bianca gets
that was a good sidebar story.
Oh yeah, it was.
It really
that was a good what you would call a B plot.
Yeah, the B plot.
Yeah. As for my favorite character, it's the dad. I mean, I love all the characters in this movie, but the dad is my favorite character by far. Because
definitely.
He's just
parent. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
But yeah, I love this movie. I mean, this is one of me and Mam Ambassador's favorite movies or anything. We watch it at least once or twice a year. So
nice. Yeah,
it's a good, solid comedy. It's I think not a perfectly faithful adaptation to the Taming of the Shrew, but
obviously not.
But it's still good.
It holds up.
It pays homage in the right places.
Yep. My favorite character actually was David Krumholtz's character. I mean, David Krumholtz played that so freaking well. He's like, "Hi, Michael Eckman. I'm here to show you around." "Oh, thanks. I thought they were going to get me one of those audio visual geeks." You know, I know what you're talking about. This freaking audio viz or odd viz kid comes in. "Hey, Michael, where do we put the slides?" "Michael." It's like, "Oh shit, I got caught, Michael." But then he has that small little run-in with Kat because she almost runs him over. And so he has a motorbike, and he's like, goes to ride off. "Stay cool, bro. Yeah, see you later." And so he goes over a long hill, a very steep hill, and he goes over it on the motorcycle. And I love it. The first bounce, "My balls."
Yeah,
like,
I remember
"My
that.
balls."
My balls.
Wipes out. And he's like, ah, ah. And everybody's watching, folks. So what does he do? Yeah! Everybody just starts clapping. And then he turns around and he's like, oh, and then he falls over again. That is the perfect freaking recovery, though. It's like he turns around, sees him, yeah, woohoo! It's like, yeah, because you know that's what they're gonna be looking for. This kid just did something fucking nuts, you know.
So you gotta play it off as an accident, or you gotta play it cool, and he played it cool.
Oh, he played it both, you know. But yeah, and then later on, when he does the whole seduction thing, and also when they first go to meet with Pat Verona, they show up at the biker bar. And he's like, wow, is this what a bar really looks like? And he takes the Tootsie Roll, smacks it out of his hands. He's like, don't touch anything. Make it hepatitis. Fucking hilarious shit. Should you be drinking alcohol when you don't have a liver? What? No, never mind. He sold his own liver on the black market just for a set of speakers. Don't look at him. He's a criminal. He just did a year in San Quentin. Well, yeah, then that means he's horny. I mean, it's like, oh my god, it's
the
the
whole
rumor mill
the whole
in high
biker
school
bar
is
scene.
just so nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, the biker bar scene, that's just,
yeah. I can't be seen at Club Skunk, man. And then he turns up because, well, her favorite band is playing there that night. And, well, he's trying his best. She's like, first off, Kat doesn't like non-smokers, so you're telling me I'm a non-smoker. I mean, he quit smoking for this girl, dude. He cold turkeyed for Kat.
Mm-hmm.
So he then freaking, I mean, he did everything for this girl. And yeah, he fucked up because he was taking money for it, but he did everything for this girl, you know?
Yes, he did.
And I love it. And I love how they're talking about the rumors. It's like, no, none of that shit is really true. Prison, hearsay, or fallacy. And he's like, a dead guy in a parking lot, rumor. And she's like, the duck. Oh yeah, I heard he ate a live duck once. Everything but the beak and feet. The duck, fallacy. And she's like, Bogey Lowenstein's balls, or not Bogey Lowenstein, Bobby Ridgway. Bobby Ridgway's balls. True. Oh, well, it's his fault. He tried to grope me in the lunch line. So basically, what isn't shown, folks, is that she hit the dude so hard in the nuts that he needed testicle retrieval. His nuts basically migrated north way too far. Because it's like the same way you expressed yourself to Bobby Ridgway. By the way, his testicle retrieval operation went very well, if you're interested. I still maintain he kicked himself in the balls. It's just so great. Also, Pat Verona trying to get freaky with the principal. It's like, Mr. Verona, how wonderful to see you again. Only so we could have these moments together. Shall I hit the lights? Oh, very clever, kangaroo boy. Says here you exposed yourself in the cafeteria. I was joking around with the lunch lady. It was a bratwurst. Bratwurst? Aren't we the optimist? Basically the biggest insult to a dude in school. Next time, keep it in your pouch. Skip! And when he turns around, the look on his face is pure horror. Because he's like, what the fuck? He's walking away with mouth agape and then she goes and edits her novel a little bit. Instead of something, she puts bratwurst in order to describe the deck. And it's like, holy fuck, man. This movie, it is just such a great movie.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
underrated.
Heath Ledger, we truly lost a talent when he died.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But you got movies like this. Mm-hmm.
Yep. If there was an actor who I would bring back to life, honestly, without any sort of bad Pet Cemetery vibe thing going, Heath Ledger would be it. That man was taken before his time. His daughter grew up without a father. And I don't think he committed suicide. Everybody says he OD'd, suicide, and whatnot. No, he was part of an action, or if I remember correctly, he was actually part of a drug trial. Yeah. Check out Everybody Wants Some on a similar note. Yeah. He was also in Monsters Ball, a small role, but a poignant one. But this movie was truly great. And I am forever thankful to my uncle for bringing me into that theater that day, because I got to see Star Wars Episode 1's trailer, which was beautiful. It's like, who is this horny devil man with the coolest fucking lightsaber I have ever seen?
Yeah, I know, right?
Who's this kid? What are these ugly frog people? I want to know more.
It's like Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more?
Yeah, right? I mean, it's like, who's this dude with the hood and the cloak? He looks familiar. I just can't put my finger on it, you know? Wasn't in 2017 is the movie, or wasn't it in it? 2017 is the movie. Okay, yeah. He was also good in The Patriot.
Yes. There's another movie he did. It was also with the actress who played the love interest in A Knight's Tale, called The Order.
Oh, yep.
Really underrated movie.
Back to hell. Yeah. What did you say?
Just that The Order. It's a very underrated movie, but it's a really good one of his.
Mm-hmm. So. And A Knight's Tale was also very good, especially the extended edition.
Oh, I love that. I don't have the extended edition. I just had the regular version, but you know what? I'm happy. Because it's a good movie.
Well, you get some great shots in the extended edition, especially the scene where they meet Chaucer's wife, because he's walking back to his tent naked again. And it's like, you lost your money gambling again, didn't you? And fucking Watt just starts beating on him. I thought you was a prostitute. It's like, oh shit. Says that about his wife. It's like, I thought you was a prostitute. Get out! It's like, fucking hell. It is such a great. Oh my god, those scenes were great, man. We'll have to talk that movie sometime.
Yeah, I'd love that, because I love A Knight's Tale.
Kate's not here, folks, for family. But what should we just? Or I think I will put that in the
do it
poll.
Knight's Tale, yes.
Knight's Tale and whatever other ones. Yep.
I can come up with a few for you.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe not Heath Ledger, but I can definitely come up with some others.
All right. Put them in the chat when we leave. Or discuss them with me in post-show. But anyway, folks, we are going to get going because, well, we have run out of things to say.
Yes. And of course, Riot Kitty shows up late.
Hey, Riot. Sorry, you are showing up on the ass end of this.
Why, kid?
We miss you. We
miss
you.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
Hugs to the kitty. But you could definitely catch the replay.
Yes.
And for those of you who haven't subbed to Riot Kitty, she's a great channel. She's getting shit done. And good night, guys. But Riot Kitty's also always welcome on the channel if she ever wants to come back on.
Yes.
So with that out of the way, what is tonight? Sunday. So Monday, I'm not really sure what's going on. Tuesday, theme stream, movies under the radar. Haywire is the first one. These are movies for the month of December that may or skirt under the radar upon release, but then were noticed later and found their fandom, essentially. So yes, I Come in Peace is another one. So the four of them that are coming in the month of December are Haywire, I Come in Peace, which is now known as Dark Angel for some stupid ass reason. The Avengers, not the one you're thinking about, folks.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. And skinwalkers.
Ooh, that's creepy.
So, huh?
I've just seen a lot of videos about those, and it's creepy as hell.
Well, Skinwalkers is more, or the movie is werewolf based. But
Fair
yes,
yeah.
Haywire, Skinwalker, or Haywire, The Avengers, Skinwalkers, and I Come in Peace for this month of themes. Also, singles with me and Mara. We're gonna figure out what to do with the singles during the Christmas week. It might be a Thursday, Friday thing. It might be a Friday, Saturday thing. We don't know yet. We will definitely inform you all when we finalize that. The singles are Scrooged and Mouse Hunt. The 1s and 2s are Home Alone 1 and 2.
Good ones. Good ones
so
across
we
the
got
board.
our Christmas theme this time. But my theme stream was not going to be Christmas themed because it's like, I'm sick of doing Christmas all the time.
Fair enough. I get it.
But yeah. Although you will see some weather or some winter weather in some of these movies. But yeah. Anyway, folks, thank you so much to Riot Kitty, Vanya, Norris, Pierce, and Junebug.
And Xavier Pierce.
Yep, Xavier Pierce. Thank you guys always for tuning in. Next week, we will have another movie to discuss as well as hopefully have Kate back. And we will also be talking more topics. I will try to get more content out. I am working on it, folks. Unfortunately, sometimes we're getting winter up here. So sometimes we got to I got to go out and do a lot of shit. I mean, that happened when I was discussing Final Fantasy Spirits Within with Mara. I had to go out and help push my mom's truck out of the driveway because the tires were bad. But yep, thank you so much for tuning in. Ambassador, is there anything you want to plug?
Not as of yet, but I do have stuff lined up for this month for the coming of Christmas and afterwards. So keep an eye on my socials as usual.
All righty, folks. Make sure you subscribe to the Ambassadorial Wing. And y'all have a wonderful day. And always remember, folks, to stay humble. Peace.
Are you done? Are you done?